When was the last time you actually saw a trailer of a movie and you thought, oh my God, I have to watch this movie? Nobody had to convince you. Nobody jumped on a Zoom call and literally put on you and told you, like, hey, you have to watch this movie. Nobody explained the plot for an hour or sent you a PDF. In 2 minutes, the trailer did the job of selling the movie. It created the curiosity, it created like where you were emotionally invested to watch the movie, right? You like it helped you to understand why this movie matter and why you want to watch this movie. By the time you walk into the cinema, the decision had already been made. The ticket wasn't sold at the cinema, you already bought it before because it was sold by watching the trailer. And I think this is the same where so many women of color coaches are struggling with. You're expecting your sales call to do what your marketing, what your content and messaging should have already done. So let's talk about the biggest mistake I see when it comes to experienced and incredible women of color coaches. They are booking sales calls, right? Like you are booking sales calls, your people are opening your emails, they are watching your stories, they are consuming every single content that you are posting. And then when I actually have the chance to talk to you, you are telling me that your conversion rate is too low. So my response to it obviously is to ask like, hey, what are you talking about before people are booking the call with you? And most of the time it's like, yeah, I'm just creating content. Like, yeah, I'm posting tips and I'm trying to be consistent on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook. And that is the problem. That is the problem you're experiencing right now as an experienced and incredible coach, because your marketing is already creating attention to people who are a good fit to your offer. But the missing piece is the conviction. The missing piece is this conviction part in your content and messaging. And there is a huge difference. So, what should your marketing do? Right? That is the big question here. Your content shouldn't simply make someone think, oh my gosh, she's so credible, she has so much certification, and she knows what she's talking about. Your messaging should make someone think, I have been looking at this problem completely wrong. I have been thinking how to solve that problem in a different way. So, your content and your messaging should answer questions before they ever book a sales call with you, which is why your sales call are struggling to convert better because your messaging and your marketing is not doing the job right now. So you are actually already working twice as hard, because when your marketing and your messaging is already working, the conversion part in your sales call will be way easier, right? Because again, your messaging is the reason why you will convert at a higher conversion rate. So your content should answer basic questions, but also in-depth questions that nobody else is doing right now before your prospects are booking a call. So that can be like, hey, why the problem matters, right? Why solving now this problem matters, why you are stuck, why free information hasn't solved it yet. Again, there like a lot of people believe that ChatGPT alone is enough, or watching like before ChatGPT, the objection was, why should I work with you if I have all those YouTube videos? Okay, you have all those YouTube information. Why aren't you seeing the results? So you have to give your prospects a new perspective why free information will never help them to solve the problem, and why your approach is different, why your perspective, your values are different than somebody else, and why they can actually solve it no matter what their own circumstances are. Because if your messaging doesn't solve any of those questions, any of those objections, right, which is like questions, guess what you need to do? You have to do it on a sales call. And in 60 minutes, you cannot actually solve all the objections that your prospects are having, which is why 80% has to be addressed in your content before, so that you can actually solve those objections, which are not as many in those 60-minute sales call that you are going to do. So your sales calls becomes 1 hour conversation instead of you convincing someone why they should work with you. Like, your prospects are already coming being sold. They already want to work with you, or they already want to solve that problem. You don't have to convince them in 1 hour. Your content and the content system you are building to binge all your content should already address all of those objections that is going in here, so they are already being sold. They are coming on a call to you, and they are telling you why you should choose them. We want to flip it, right? You want to have all the power because you know how to solve this problem in the most simple and fast way, that they are coming to you being sold to be in your offer and actually selling themselves to, so that you can see as the coach why you should choose them. And this is why so many, say, like coaches and industry experts, are leaving the sales course feeling drained, because you are in this energy where you want to be chosen by your prospects. So you are trying to explain the problem, you are teaching the solution, you are building trust. Maybe you are handling objections, maybe you don't even know how to handle objections, so you're opening the door and you are like, bye, see you soon. You are trying to increase urgency, but you don't know how to do that. You are justifying your price at the end. So you are literally convincing them to work with you. You are convincing them that coaching works. Why do you even want someone on a coaching call if they even are not sold why coaching works? Why they need a coach, a service provider, a consultant right now? Why do you want those prospects on a call who are then wasting all your time and energy? That is how, like, your messaging should disqualify all the people who believe that coaching doesn't work. You should disqualify all the people who think now is not the right time. Disqualify them. Your time is so precious. Your time is the most important um, tool. It's not the word tool. Like, I'm not sure how to actually explain it, but you will never get your time back. You will always make more money. You will always know how to make more money, multiply money, because you have the skill. It is all about skill when it comes to making money, right? But time, once the 1 hour is done, the 1 hour is done. You will never get it back. So it is so much more work if you're trying to convince your people in 1 hour call. No wonder that you're exhausted. No wonder that you want to ditch sales call. No wonder that you don't have time on your sales, like on your calendar, because you have booked sales calls, but you're not converting them. Now you're questioning your whole business model, you're questioning your whole business, and you are asking yourself, should I even keep doing this? Because the effort is not seeing back in my bank account. We believe that your business should get lighter as your revenue grows, right? So, what do you need to do? You need to work smarter in your messaging and in your marketing. And there is only one purpose, right? One job that your marketing and your messaging has. One job, write this down. It is to prepare someone emotionally and mentally for a buying decision, because the messaging and the marketing did the job of implementing and seeding the next belief until they are ready to buy. So it has only one job. Your job is not to dance around. Your job is not to exhaust yourself from showing up. The marketing has one job. Your messaging should prepare someone emotionally and mentally for a buying decision. Are you doing this right now with every single content you are posting? Right now, no matter the platform doesn't matter. So we are more like, our concept and what we teach inside Leverage 20 is, it works on all platforms, because it goes back to your messaging and it goes back to buyer psychology and how to infuse that in every single piece of content you are producing, right? So I think, like, I like to think of marketing as moving someone through beliefs, right? You are seeding a belief here in order to go to the next step. Then you are seeding a belief in order to go to the next step until they are in the end stage, which is the buying decision, right? Because at first they believe, I don't really have a problem, right? Then they are actually consuming your content. They are realizing, okay, maybe actually this is costing me more than I thought. It's not only costing me money, it is costing me my relationship, it is costing my mental peace, it is costing me sleep. Those are stuff that is very expensive, right? Then they have this belief, oh, I probably cannot solve this by myself. I have already tried it and it didn't work. Maybe it did work, but it wasn't sustainable. Maybe you exhausted yourself by solving that problem and now you want to do it in a fast and easy way, right? Until they come to the end stage where they are consuming your content and they are like, okay, I think I need this coach who understands me and my problem, and I want to solve this problem with this coach. So by the time they are booking a call with you, they are not asking, do I have the problem? Do I have the time? Does it actually work for me? They are not asking those surface level questions, right? When they are booking a call, they are asking, is this the right person to solve, like to help me to solve it? Based on the perspective and values and how you are living your life right now. And that is a completely different sales conversation. Instead of only, like, attracting unqualified leads. Like, in my opinion, an unqualified lead is who's booking a call and they don't even know that they have a problem. That is exhausting, and that is someone who's not really ready to pay you $5,000, $10,000 to solve their problem. They are not ready, because why would someone pay you $5,000 if they are not even aware what kind of problem they are having in their business, in their life, in their health, in their relationship? They This is not the perfect lead to work with you right now. They are way more in the beginning stage of their awareness. This actually, if you're getting more these kind of people on a sales call, this tells you that your messaging is not doing the right job right now. Your messaging is not doing the right job to walk them through the buyer's journey, to actually see, I need to solve this problem. I have this problem for way too long. It's costing me way too much. So most coaches, and what you are doing is, you're creating educational content. You are giving your 3 tips, the 3 mistakes, and here is how, right? And I'm not saying it's wrong, but what I'm saying is, if it is heavily only on that, that's why you are attracting unqualified leads on a sales call. Because educational content has its place, right? But educational content won't create buyers. And we want to create buyers with every single content we are posting, because information doesn't change behavior. Someone will book a call with you and say yes to you because they consumed the content and they changed their behavior, they changed their beliefs. So your audience, they don't need another tip. They need someone to help them to see their business, their life, their health, their relationship differently, right? That is what we need to create with your messaging right now. You have to shift their thinking immediately so that they can start to look at the problem differently. That is the only job of your messaging. How I mentioned before, it has only one job: to help someone emotionally and mentally get ready into a buying decision. That is messaging, and messaging changes perception. Information doesn't change perception, it doesn't change how someone behaves, it doesn't change the patterns that are keeping them stuck, the beliefs they have. It doesn't change, right? Information doesn't change them, but messaging changes the perception and the perception they have when it comes to solving the problem. That is what great marketing looks like. That is what you need to do before, in in order to have a higher conversion when it comes to sales call. So great marketing does most of the selling before the sales call. I believe 80% of the selling should have done before the sales call, before any sales conversation. And this is a great sign if you are ready even to ditch the sales call. I wouldn't recommend you, as your business coach, I wouldn't recommend you to ditch the sales call if your messaging is not doing the job for you, because that actually gives you the data that your business is not ready right now. We have to make sure that your messaging and your marketing is tightened and it is doing the right job so that you can ditch the sales call. And a lot of coaches, they prematurely ditch the sales call and then they question, where is my next client? Your business was not ready for you to ditch the sales call right now, right? And what we are creating inside Leverage is we are creating the binge effect on YouTube. So when you have a great marketing and great messaging, right, and it does the most selling for you, it looks like someone is actually in your universe and they are binge watching your YouTube videos. They are listening to different podcast episodes. They are reading your emails. And they have already heard the philosophy that you have. They already know your framework. They already understand your values, your company values, the vision you have. They already know what happens if nothing changes, and they can see themselves inside your offer and getting the solution. They can see themselves, right? Nothing is holding them back. That is kind of like the buyer you want to create. So when the sales conversation comes, they are not saying like, yeah, I need to think about it, or yeah, right now is not the time, right? The conversation shifts. The conversation becomes, I know I need help. I have been following you and I want to see how you can help me. And I think you are the right coach. That is the indicators that your messaging works. Let me know in the comments, is your messaging working right now? Because you can see the difference. The one is you're attracting people on a sales call where they are literally telling you all the objection of, and I'm not saying objection when it comes to their own fear. I'm literally talking about objection like, I don't think this is the right time. I need to think about it. And they literally wasted your time. Or are you getting more conversations in the DMs or on a sales call where they are selling themselves why you should choose them? Like, yeah, I know I need help and I think you are the right coach. That's when you know you are no longer convincing and you are actually selling with conviction in your messaging. So stop asking, okay? Stop asking, how do I become better on sales call, right? And start to ask yourself, how do I make my messaging do more of the heavy selling for you? How do I make my messaging do more of the heavy selling for you? Because the goal is not to become amazing at having more sales call on your calendar, right? And being busy and converting at 10% or 20%. The goal is to actually disqualify the leads before they are booking a call with you, right? So that your sales call are becoming more like an enrollment call or are becoming more like a confirmation call, and you're closing more of those people into your offer. So your content should challenge your people and already handle the objections. I don't have the time. I cannot afford it. I can figure this out on my own. I can do this in 6 months. Because your sales call should simply help someone to make a confident decision. Because I'm not saying that fear will go away. Everyone has fear, no matter how many times they have invested. Everyone wants someone to confirm that this is the right step for them. And that is totally okay. That is totally normal. But if you should handle the basic objections beforehand so that the marketing and messaging does the 80% selling for you. So if you're a woman of color coach and you are getting leads, okay, you are already booking sales call and you know that your next revenue breakthrough is not actually more visibility, it's stronger messaging. Messaging that changes beliefs, messaging that creates urgency, that actually showcase who you are, your culture background, that builds trust. Because someone needs to believe that you walked in the shoes they are walking so that they actually want to work with you because you understand them. You know what they are going through. And messaging helps someone to arrive and book a sales call already believing they need help, they need to change. That is what we want to create with your messaging. This is how you will stop hustling and how you will stop, breaking your back to match the income in your bank account, right? Like, do you really want to have all week long booked out calendar and the conversion rate at 20%? I don't believe so. So have a stronger messaging. Make sure that your messaging is magnetic so that people are booking a call, qualifying themselves or disqualifying themselves and coming to the call with this energy. Please choose me. I need to work with you. Your sales calls shouldn't be carrying your entire business. That is what I believe. Your marketing should do that. It should do the heavy lifting. So when your messaging gets stronger, your sales call gets higher conversion, your objection becomes a lot fewer. You don't have to convince anyone, push anyone, or manipulate anyone. Your conversion rate goes up and your revenue grows. This is literally the meaning that when your business grows, right? Your business gets lighter as your revenue goes. Your business gets lighter as your revenue grows. You don't need more leads. You simply need to become better at converting the people that you already have who's already paying attention. That is how you increase your revenue while working part time hours. Whenever you are ready to solve this problem in your business, there is a link to book a call with me. Book your call. Let's see how we can change your conversion rate and your messaging in the next 30 days. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I see you in the next video. Bye.